Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Fifer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
Welcome in as we broadcast live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Steve Sparky Fifer here with you. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's at the Wisconsin State Fair, right outside of the Expo building, right by the Milk House, brought to you by Gruber Law. I heard Thunder on before me, doing Thunder at the fair from 11 to 2, talking about going over there and crushing some milk together and so forth. Can we talk about Thunder for a second since he's no longer here and he left?
Sure.
That man loves to hug people. He's a hugger. I mean, he hugged Jack. He hugged Van. I got a fist bump. I'm not hugging Thunder. But did you know other people like him that, like, hug everybody?
Oh, yeah. People
Really?
are just huggers. It's a personality type, I think.
Oh, man. He's the only one I know. I've never seen anybody that's all about hugging people. That was pretty crazy. Jack took it right in. Jack was like, "Oh, hug me, man," and took the big hug from him. Whatever. I think Van was a little bit more like, "Okay, dude, I guess, sure, all right, we'll hug." But Jack was into it. Jack was fully into it.
I probably would have settled for the fist bump. Yeah.
Yeah. I took he didn't even attempt to hug me, but these other two, boy, he got up and gave him big old bear hugs, and that's love right there. You start hugging dudes, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's love. All right, there we go. Thunder just walked by. Didn't know we were talking about him the whole time. Okay, so this is the thing. We're going to talk about the Brewers' lack of deals at the trade deadline. We'll get into that. We'll talk about Packers training camp coming up in the second segment. We'll definitely get into that. But also, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy. So number one, it's my girl's birthday today. So that was pretty cool. Should be a fun day. So that's good. But the other thing that made me really happy was that the Milwaukee Bucks really made me happy. They are bringing back the Cream City jerseys. Finally, we get the cream jerseys back for the Milwaukee Bucks. Because remember, they were told by the NBA they couldn't have them anymore because it was conflicting with ads on the court and whatever else was going on. They couldn't have them. Well, now they're back. So the Cream City jerseys are coming back this year for the Milwaukee Bucks. Very excited about that. Did you see the Cream City throwback court that they're bringing back with the jerseys, Charlie?
I did see it. It looks pretty sick. I'm pretty excited about this, too.
Woo-wee. It is my favorite court that they've done so far. Now, when they did the black jerseys and that court, that was my favorite court. This is my new favorite court. Love the jerseys, love the court. So we will talk with Dustin Godsey of the Bucks coming up at 2:40. Plus, also, they're out here at the State Fair every year, too. Now, they're not with the Milk House anymore, but they still have a presence. So we'll talk to him about the Milwaukee Bucks and the State Fair coming up at 2:40. As far as I know, I've not gotten anything from Drew Wagner saying, I better check. Yeah, I've not gotten anything from Drew Wagner saying 320 is not going to work today. So as far as I know, we're good with Drew Wagner. Talking about the Brewers and the Nationals coming up. That starts tonight. It's on Apple TV. So those of you that have Apple TV, you'll be able to watch it. Those of you that don't, will not. Pretty much that simple. You can always listen on the radio, though. That's always another possibility. So we'll talk about the Brewers and the Nationals. We'll get Andrew Wagner's thoughts from Forbes Sports on what he thought of the Brewers trade deadline. Probably much different than what I thought of the Brewers deadline. We'll do that coming up at 3:20. Then at 4 o'clock, we've been putting off this Jordan Love topic involving a ESPN personality and former NFL GM concerning his thoughts on Jordan Love. For 2 days now, I think we've put it off for. So we'll talk about that coming up at 4 o'clock. Then at 4:20, we'll do our green and gold update with our guy, Paul Brettel from ESPN Lacrosse. It's been a minute since we talked to Paul Brettel. I went and I looked. I don't think we've had him on since May. And he hung out with us as well at the draft when we were up in Green Bay with Jacob Westendorf and a host of others. So we'll talk with Paul Brettel, get his thoughts on what's going on at training camp practice. That comes up at 4:20. Then at 4:30, the show ends. Yes, we're ending a half hour early today because Tommy Wirtz, the big old hunk of love, is bringing his sexy body out here to the Wisconsin State Fair. See that, Charlie? I took it up a level, Charlie.
Sexy body is nuts. Tommy Wirtz is in studio right now, and he heard you say that. He's sitting over there just astounded. just astounded.
We're on video again. If you're watching on YouTube, you can stream us live on YouTube. All you gotta do is search The Fan Milwaukee to find us. And when I said that, Charlie's face lit up and busted out laughing. Are you saying you don't agree with my analysis that the girls think
I don't
of
know,
our guy?
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? All right, like we already know. We don't need to reassure people anymore now, and they'll be able to see in person.
I'm trying to make sure the ladies know that you will be here
Yeah.
at 4:30 so they can hang out and wait and know, all right, I can walk around, get some deep fried Oreos, have some corn dogs, whatever. But I know I got to be back here to see the big old hunk of love, Tommy Wirtz, at 4:30. When he hosts the leadoff show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, 1 hour before every Brewers game. We get you ready for the game. Hear from Pat Murphy, get you the starting lineups, look down at the minors with our Building the Winner segment, brought to you by the Iron Workers. That all comes up tonight, 4:30 to 5:30 here at the Wisconsin State Fair, right outside the Expo building. And the big old hunk of love, Tommy Wirtz, will be here doing that. It's going to be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm thinking Tommy's going to get 2 or 3 numbers in the hour that he's here. I bet you he gets a couple numbers.
Wherever you see the biggest crowd, that's where you guys got to walk to. Yeah, I'll be over there.
So bring the cream puffs over to you and just put them on the table in front of you, and we'll bring the people in.
Won't even talk to you unless there's a cream puff in front of me. Yeah, you got to bring me one to even have any access to watch the leadoff show today.
Are you a vanilla, a chocolate, or a strawberry?
I mean, I don't want to be a hater on cream puffs, but I would pass on a cream puff at the State Fair, to be honest.
So you're a hater on cream puffs?
Yeah, I know.
That's not going to help you get women out here at the Wisconsin State Fair. I'll tell you that much.
Well, so my favorite thing about the fair by far is the pig races.
Sure.
That is by far my favorite thing. As far as eating something, just give me something covered in dough and fried up, and I'll go after that. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Anything deep fried and on a stick out here at the Wisconsin State Fair, and you're good. So lots to get to on today's show, and it'll end again at 4:30 with the leadoff show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, anyway, for Brewers and Nationals coming up tonight. Game 1 of a 3-game set. Brewers' best record in the National League at this point, and the Cubs are chasing after them in the division. They're taking on the Orioles right now. That game, bottom of 4. Cubs up 1-0 on the Orioles right now, bottom of 4. So let's talk about the trade deadline yesterday and the fact that the Milwaukee Brewers didn't do anything. Now, if you were listening to the show yesterday, you heard me and Charlie reacting as things were going on. However, after we got off the air, we had only known about at that point, because the trade deadline was over, remember, at 5 o'clock, but stuff always dwindles in the next 30 minutes after. We only knew, Charlie, about one trade, right? We only knew Nasty Nestor Cortez was traded. That was the only trade we knew about. We didn't know about any other trades. Nestor Cortez, I don't know if you saw this, took to Instagram, I guess it is. It says, Milwaukee was short-lived, but wow, what a group of gritty players and blue-collar organization. Sorry I couldn't give you guys more. And then he goes on to talk about the Padres. Who cares about that? But, yeah, so that was nice of Nestor Cortez, throwing some love towards Milwaukee and the Brewers organization on his way to San Diego for a crappy hitter. But the Brewers then made another move after we were off the air. Now, I got to tell you, I've been a Brewers fan my whole life. I'm old. I've seen a lot of trades happen around Major League Baseball for a long time. I've seen trades happen in the NBA. I've seen trades happen in the National Football League. I've been here at this station for 20 years doing this. I have never in my life seen a team trade for a player that's out for the season and is a free agent at the end of the season. So you're not trading for a guy that has 2 years left on his deal, and yeah, he's out, but we'll get him back next year and then have him for a year after that, right? That's not what the Brewers did. They traded for a guy that had Tommy John surgery in May, done for the season, and is a free agent in Jordan Montgomery. Then that wasn't all they did. Then they traded for another hurt guy that avoided Tommy John surgery, or so for right now, earlier, and that was end of June, beginning of July, like July 5th, July 6th, whatever it was. Goes for a second opinion. With some rest and relaxation, we think you'll be able to pitch again this year. Stellar. He hasn't even gone on a rehab outing yet, and he's the second player involved in this deal with the Brewers. For the love of me, I swear to you, I have never seen anything like this before. Two dudes that are seriously injured, one gone for the year, who now you have to pay the rest of his contract to, oh, by the way. And then Shelby Miller, the other guy, who was here for a second, but because of COVID he got to opt out, so never really suited up for the Brewers. So those two guys, and then you give up cash, which I'm hoping that's going to be the option and not a player to be named later that might be something. That's why so let me see if I got this right. Tell me if you think this is how it happened. They're on the phone. And our guy, Matt Arnold, who I love to death, is like, dude, I got to do something here. Like, that whole Nestor Cortez thing ain't going to make anybody happy. But Shelby Miller's got a sub-2 ERA and has pitched well out of the pen and can be another pen piece for us in the postseason. And if he gets healthy, this might be a really nice addition for the playoffs. Cool. All right, I'm going to give this a shot. I mean, he's hurt. How much could it possibly cost? So he dials up the phone, calls up, gets a response of, well, yeah, I mean, you can have him, I guess, but I mean, we really like him. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about the prospects that you're willing to give up. That's the thing. I mean, he's hurt. I don't want to give you anybody for him. I mean, well, I'll give you cash considerations for Shelby Miller. No, that's not going to work, dude. You're going to have to give me more than that, or we're going to have to come up with something else if you don't want to give me a prospect. All right. How about you take Jordan Montgomery and his salary, gone for the year on Tommy John surgery. You pay for his salary, you pay for Shelby Miller, and we'll call a player to be named later or cash, depending on if Shelby Miller pitches or not. All right, yeah, that sounds fair. Let's do that. Right? That's how it happened. So essentially, instead of giving up any type of real prospect, they decided to pay Jordan Montgomery to not play this year on Tommy John in order to get the Shelby Miller deal done. Right?
I think that's exactly how it went down.
I mean, you should print T-shirts that have the Brewers logo on it and just say, protect prospects at all costs, right? I mean, that's what the shirt should say, with the Brewers logo on the back. Hell, the fan can sponsor the jersey, and we can give them out at all the minor league baseball games in the Brewers farm system. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what that move was. They dumped Garza, I think, to get something for him and to get away from having to pay him all that money. And then this deal, to avoid giving up a real prospect, they essentially ate a contract in Jordan Montgomery. And they are the best team in baseball. That was about as small market of two deadline deals as you could possibly get, Charlie Usen.
Yeah, I don't think it gets any more small market than that. It was really, like I said on the Thunder at the Fair show earlier, I was just disappointed. Like, I had a lot of excitement for this team, and it's not that I don't think this team is good. I still watch them every day and say, you know what, they're really fun to watch, and I want to keep watching them. But after the trade deadline, my expectations for any kind of postseason run just kind of went away, because this is exactly the same team that we've seen in the playoffs, and the rest of the National League, even if it was small increments, got better at positions they needed to get better at. The Brewers just added depth to positions they were already good at.
Correct. And then you get Brandon Lockridge. Now, coincidentally, probably not, they get Brandon Lockridge, an outfielder, again, who has not hit in two stints at the major league level yet. His minor league numbers look like they could be okay, so maybe it'll eventually translate at this level. But the one thing he does do is he plays really good defense, Lockridge, right? And he's going to add a bunch of stolen bases. He's a fast dude, and he's a smaller dude as well. That's another Brewer trait they like. So Lockridge now, guess what? He might play tonight against the Nationals. Why? Because Jackson Churio is headed for the 10-day injured list with a strained right hamstring retroactive to July 30th. So Churio to the IL, up comes Brandon Lockridge, added to the active roster, and you may see him right off the bat here. Now, again, long-term, is he on this team? No. Somebody, a friend of mine tweeted out, oh, you guys will all be eating your words when he has the game-winning hit or something in the NLCS. And my response was, if he is on a playoff roster for this Brewers team, in any way, shape, or form, something has gone horribly wrong if this dude is on the Brewers playoff roster, Charlie.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty big issue. That has to mean that Blake Perkins got hurt, and Sal Frelick got hurt and can't play again. And
Isaac Collins. I mean, there's no way this dude is on a playoff roster. No chance. Right. No chance this dude's on a playoff roster. So, either way. So, he'll be here probably for at least 10 days while they wait to get Jackson Churio back. from injury. But talking about this baseball team and where they are right now after the trade deadline has passed, because it's all done. Now, you can't do anything anymore. They changed that rule a couple of years ago. Before, you could make trades and get guys through waivers and so forth, and people were still able to make moves. You can't do that anymore. Question is simple. Are the Brewers, in your mind, the team to beat in the National League? Are they the team that you're going to have to beat to get to the World Series in the National League? And if not, if you think it's a different team that you're more scared of, who is that team? Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Sound off with a voice message on the Odyssey app or Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Don't forget, we are streaming live on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube, like us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. And you can watch all of the great action going on down here at the Wisconsin State Fair, right here by the Expo building, right by the entrance across from the Milk House. The Gruber Law is the sponsor of that bad boy. Go on over there. Somebody I heard told Thunder chocolate cherry milk.
He did. Somebody did tell him that.
Maybe. Chocolate sherry? Jack says it's sherry, like the alcohol sherry.
I'd rather have chocolate cherry.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have chocolate cherry too. I mean, I'm not a big cherries drinker, but yeah, whatever. The root beer is still what it's all about for me. I've not been over there yet, but I will get over there at some point. All right, so is this team, in your mind, the team to beat in the NL? Record-wise, the answer is obviously yes, right? They're number one. But you just saw the Padres get a bunch better. Philadelphia improved. The Mets improved too. The Dodgers added a couple of pieces. I'm not sure they added pieces that were, earth-shattering, but they added a couple of pieces. The Cubs added a couple of pieces. Same thing. I don't think they made any earth-shattering moves that are going to change anybody's fortune per se. So they did that. The Brewers did virtually nothing. So do you see them still being, the team to beat to go to the World Series? And remember, if you are the 1 seed, you bye in that wild card round, so you do not have to play. And that also would mean that whoever they get has to come through American Family Field, right? So if you get the Dodgers in that next round, you have home field advantage. The Padres, the Mets, whoever, the Phillies, it goes through American Family Field. Do you see them as the team to beat? Charlie, start with you.
No, I don't. And I don't really think I saw them fully as the team to beat before the trade deadline either. When looking at this Milwaukee Brewers team, yes, they are hot right now, and they feel like a team that is going to be able to keep this going through the end of the regular season. But it's the same thing of past expectations that are coming back to haunt us, where we want them to do well in the playoffs, but it's the same thing over and over again. When there's a team like the Los Angeles Dodgers who just won the World Series last year and have a phenomenal roster that they only made better through the trade deadline, it may not have been a lot better, but it was marginally better. They are still a team that I think that the Brewers have to get through. When you're the defending World Series champs, you're automatically the team to beat, and they're still just as good as they were last year, even if their record doesn't say so.
The other thing about this, I think, from a Brewers perspective is when you look at the front three of the starting rotation and you say, okay, who's the team to beat? I mean, are there going to be teams that are going to be better than Woodruff, Peralta, and Mizorowski? I mean, that's about as good as you get. You're not going to go into a series like you have in years past with this Brewers team going, man, if our front three was good as that front three, maybe we'd have a better chance. You don't have that take, I don't think, going into this year, providing those three are healthy and pitching.
No, you don't. I think the Brewers by far have the best top three in baseball right now. I just also feel like that there's teams like the Phillies, like the Dodgers, who aren't too far behind them as well. I think the gap between the Brewers bats, between the Dodgers bats or the Phillies bats is a lot bigger than the gap between the Brewers pitching and the Phillies and Dodgers pitching.
See, that's what the other thing that comes down to, right? And it's like football, it's like basketball, and it's really no different in baseball. When you get into a series in baseball, scouting reports and so forth get a little bit more fine-tuned, right? You get a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, you have scouting reports during the season and so forth, but it takes probably another step forward when you're seeing the same team, over and over and over. And you're going to see their best players over and over and over. And the same with the Aces. So now all of a sudden that scouting steps up a little bit. Now all of a sudden the intensity picks up a little bit. The national media are all over it covering it. And for a team like the Brewers, who have a lot of young players right now going into this, right? So you're talking about Caleb Durbin going into this thing, Isaac Collins going into this thing. Andrew Vaughn was stuck on a crappy White Sox team. He doesn't know anything about this. Him going into this thing. You're going to have some inexperience that's going to be dealing with the pressures of the playoffs kind of for the first time. And I'd even say Mizorowski, but if we're being honest, Mizorowski's under pressure every single time the man steps on the mound because he is the main attraction, I think, for the casual baseball fan around this country right now.
Easily, but he also seems like that doesn't bother him all that much. He kind of likes being on the big stage. He does the fist pumps and gets super fired up, and it seems like when the stadium's packed, that's when he's better. So I'm not really worried about him. Guys like Caleb Durbin, Andrew Vaughn, and Joey Ortiz, Isaac Collins, all having to have a big impact in the playoffs worries me a little bit. I think they've all had their moments this season at different times, and I don't worry about if they're capable of having those big moments. I'm worried if they're capable of having all those big moments at the same time in a 7-game series.
Right, and that's the other thing that goes along with it is where will the bats be once you get to the postseason? Will you still be able to get those big clutch hits that you need? Because right now, the way this team is built, you are relying on those guys to get those big clutch hits. More times than not, you're not going to win with 4 or 5 home runs in a game, right? We've seen games where they've hit 3 or 4 home runs in a game. It's possible. But you can't necessarily rely on it as much as maybe some of these other baseball teams do, which means you're going to have to steal bases, take the extra bases. That's how you've been winning all year. And then coming up with those clutch hits, getting the sacrifice flies, getting runners over, with balls the other way. Those type of things is going to be how they're going to win games. And then your pitching must be elite like it's been most of this season. And then you're in a pretty good state of mind. All right, take a quick time. I'll come back. We'll talk about Packers training camp from earlier today up in Green Bay. Also, Dustin Godsey of the Bucks will join us coming up at 2:40. The Cream City jerseys are back, Bucks fans. I am so excited. And a brand new court coming along with the Cream City jerseys that is by far my favorite court of all the ones they've had to this point. So we'll talk to Dustin Godsey about that. I do have a little bit of breaking news, and I mean this in the most minor way, but I do it because Charlie had the dude on. So who's the dude that runs the MLB Hall of Pretty Good on Twitter?
Bryce Whitlow. Really great dude.
Bryce Whitlow just announced the newest member of the Hall of Pretty Good.
I voted yes on him.
It is our guy, A.J. Brzezinski, gets 91% of the vote to become the 20th member of the Hall of Pretty Good and 5th member of the illustrious Inner Circle. A.J. Brzezinski definitely belongs in this.
I mean, I think I saw when I was voting for it, I voted yes on the Instagram poll. He has 2 Silver Sluggers, All-Star appearance, has a World Series champion, had like a 274 average in his career as a catcher, 28 WAR as a catcher. Like, he's phenomenal. He deserved to be in.
Yeah, no doubt. They absolutely deserve to be in. So everybody else may not get it, but trust me, this all a pretty good thing. It's a pretty brilliant idea. All right, coming up next, we'll talk more about Packers training camp and go over what happened there earlier today. Time for your fan weather forecast. 73 degrees, and it still says smoke. I swear to you, every day I feel like they have a new deadline, and every day it changes. When I went to bed last night, the deadline for this smoke to clear was noon today. By the time I actually got in my car to come down here, it changed to 6:30. Now I refreshed my phone, and now the air quality alert has changed till noon tomorrow, dealing with all this smoke that we're inhaling here. So 74 degrees, smoke again, and tonight a low of 56. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, out here at the Wisconsin State Fair, right here by the Expo Building entrance, across from the Milk House, brought to you by Gruber Law. Welcome back, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's as we broadcast live from the Wisconsin State Fair right out here by the Milk House, brought to you by Gruber Law. Come on out, say hi by the Expo Building. Love to see you. Here's a sign, never skip breakfast again. Wendy's breakfast biscuits are just $1. Your choice of a buttermilk biscuit with grilled sausage or bacon with egg and melty cheese, or even the Honey Buddy with juicy chicken and maple honey butter. Bring the napkins. For just $1, you can't go wrong unless you forget to add the delicious seasoned potatoes, or the warm, fluffy French toast sticks, or even the ooey gooey Cinnabon. Come on out. Start your day the right way with Buck Biscuits at Wendy's, and don't look back. Limited time only. Hey, Charlie. Charlie.
What's up?
Can we talk about Thunder for a second again?
Again? What now?
Tommy, get on the phone. Get on the microphone. I want to talk about Packers training, and we're going to do that here in a second. But what happened?
What are you asking about the phone call I just had with Mitch Yes,
please, yes.
Well, he wanted to check in because he said he misses me after 2 days not working together. And then he said, I hugged a lot of people today, and I just wanted to give you a verbal hug. So he called me to say he was hugging me verbally.
Did you give him a verbal hug back?
I did. I'm a hugger.
I'd like to sanitize myself verbally if that's what we're doing. I mean, what are we doing? I don't understand, man.
I mean, you know.
That's just... It's
an expression of love, and I'm a lover,
not
a fighter.
It, like, a fist bump's good, man. We don't got to be hugging everybody. Like,
fist bump's a little aggressive. It's a fist. I don't know.
We're giving verbal hugs. Like, I'm going to verbally punch you in the face. Does that work the same way as a verbal hug?
No, I just verbally blocked that punch and then
you verbally blocked it.
Yeah, verbally hugged you back. Yep.
Yes. Oh my God.
Forceful verbal hug.
Do not call into this radio show and say you're giving me a verbal hug, please. Please do not. Let's not start. You could call it a Mason show and tell Thunder you want to give him a verbal hug on that show. That by all means. Thunder would love more verbal hugs, I think, on a day-to-day basis. All right, let's talk about Packers training camp, what's going on up there in Green Bay. Some new DNPs today did not play. This list is kind of a little disturbing. Now, the good news is it's early on in training camp. We just started playing in full pads, the whole deal this week, so nothing to get too concerned about. But Nate Hobbs with a knee issue, the new quarterback they just got. Jaden Reed, the wide receiver, with a toe issue. He was out on a bike yesterday, too. Rasheed Walker with a groin issue. Travis Glover with a shoulder. Kamal Haddon with a hip. Aaron Mosby with a groin injury. Sam Brown Jr. with a groin injury as well. And that already goes along with the other 4 guys that were out already, like Christian Watson and Marshawn Lloyd, too. I'm not too overly concerned about all the injuries, but it is something to kind of watch here going forward, because you don't want these guys missing too much time. But it's still awfully early. Then on top of that, oh, look at that. He's got these little kids walking around out here with face paint on, man, are awesome. The other thing that happens, Aaron Nagler put out, Emmanuel Wilson goes down hard after leaving for a throw from Jordan Love. Trainers huddle around him for a few minutes, finally sits up, and then gets to his feet, heads into the Hudson Center. All right, fine. No big deal there. Matthew Golden, again, still looking good. I feel like there has been an emphasis here in the last 24 to 48 hours of people throwing some love Luke Musgrave's way, Charlie. And it looks like Luke Musgrave might have had a nice little day here as well.
Well, he had a big day, and they asked Matt LaFleur about Luke Musgrave before practice today and what it means for him to be healthy on the field and have Tucker Kraft be healthy as well. And he went into how important it is for them to have this 2 tight end set and why he feels like it gives them so many more options. So if Luke Musgrave can stay healthy and he can perform like he is in training camp right now, I mean, that's sky's the limit for that offense then.
Do we think he's going to stay healthy?
Nope, not one bit.
Cool. Way to be positive. Thanks. Appreciate it. I don't think so either. But again, remember when they drafted Luke Musgrave, he was supposed to be the 1 tight end. He was supposed to be the field stretcher down the middle. And then Tucker Kraft was supposed to be the physical run blocker, 5 yards, catch the ball. Musgrave goes down, and all of a sudden Tucker Kraft, he's like, dude, throw me the ball. I'll do this. And all of a sudden he's jumping over people, running over people, and stole Musgrave's job is pretty much what happened. and Musgrave has not been able to get it back. If Musgrave is healthy and can stretch the field like we all thought when he was drafted, this offense becomes immediately more dangerous. Plus, you add Matthew Golden with 4.2 speed in the draft in the first round for him to stretch this field, and people are going to be talking about this Packers offense in a completely different way at that point.
100%. I mean, again, it just opens up so many different avenues for this team to go down. And I think with this two tight end set, with how popular it seems it's about to get into the NFL again here, I think this is something to get ahead of the rest of the teams trying to do this and kind of build your own playbook up to the point where you are going to be a step ahead of every other team trying to follow you. And I think this is something they've been building for the past couple of years. Just Luke Musgrave hasn't been able to be on the field.
Right, and that's something that, again, would be a nice little pick-me-up for this offense if he's actually able to stay out there and do something. We'll see what happens. You know, the other part about this, too, is, and we talk about Jordan Love every day. We talk about the offense. We talk somewhat about the defense. The guy that we don't talk a ton about because he's a backup, I understand. But there was a piece written the other day about it as far as Malik Willis, right? Backup quarterback, future starting quarterback. How do you get Malik Willis to raise his value to the point to where maybe you can get a day 2 pick for Malik Willis after, say, maybe this season? Can you get to that point? Or is Malik Willis just now going to be a career backup? You're going to give him a 5-year deal and say, you're not going to start in the league. Doesn't look like anybody's interested, but we want you to be the backup for Jordan Love going forward. Here's a 5-year deal. Because I would think Malik Willis is still at the point of wanting to start in this league. But the question is, how does he get that jump? What does he have to do? What does he have to show in preseason in order to get to that point?
I think he has to be the most dominant player on that preseason field. Every game that he is playing, he has to be the best player that's out there. I think that's what it comes down to. You look at guys like Mike Glennon, who got giant contracts from teams like the Chicago Bears because he was that dominant in preseason games. And then never really got a chance in the regular season. If you're going to ball out in the preseason as well, if you are going to get a chance in the regular season, you have to ball out in the regular season as well. You kind of have to be perfect any chance that you get. That's how you get back to a starting gig in the NFL.
We will see what he looks like. I would assume if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I'm letting Malik Willis play at least the first quarter, if not the first half in every preseason game, because I can't imagine he's going to run Jordan Love out there more than maybe a quarter the whole preseason, right? I mean, unless Jordan Love asks to go out there and play more than a quarter, I would assume you don't see it for maybe more than a quarter.
Probably not, but we're also hearing from other NFL teams that do have star players that they're planning on playing their players in the preseason a little bit more this year than they have in the past because of what we were talking about at the beginning of the year last year, at the beginning of the season last year. How slow the offenses started was kind of concerning to a lot of people following the sport. So this year, I think you want to get it going a little bit faster and make sure that it doesn't take every team so long to get going. At least if you're coaching that team, that's what you're thinking.
The other news that comes out today, Nazir Stackhouse, the guy that was a defensive tackle at Georgia, they signed him after the draft was done, has another big day today. In fact, Charlie was taking snaps with the one, according to Rob Domofsky of ESPN.
That's a lot of fun. That's pretty exciting. If he could come in and be that type of force where he can automatically be a first-team type of defensive tackle, I mean, you gotta love that. That's some huge news, especially when you're losing guys like TJ Slayton, who were so important in that run game specifically.
And again, non-padded practice today, hour and 40 minutes. However, tomorrow is family night, which means we get to watch family night on TV. If you don't have tickets, it's too late. They sold that thing out relatively quickly. So it's family night tomorrow night. I already have it set to record on the TV at home. But the other thing the Packers announced is they're going to stream this bad boy on Packers.com. So those of you that don't have over-the-air TV or whatever the case may be, they are going to stream Family Night on Packers.com. So we'll have that to talk about for sure coming up on Monday.
That's a pretty good deal. I would say that most NFL teams, most professional sports teams, don't give their fans that type of option. So that's a really cool deal.
Very cool. So looking forward to seeing what they look like on Family Night coming up tomorrow night. And again, if you don't have tickets this year, always advise getting tickets for this because it's cheap. It's like, $10, something like that. And if you've never been in Lambeau Field for a game, it's just too expensive, man. They spend, $50, $60, $80 for a ticket, and we got 4 of us, and you got to pay for concessions and parking and all that. I can't justify it, right? Maybe you're that family that says that. I'm definitely that family that says that. if you can't do it, this is a perfect opportunity where you don't got to pay that much money to get in the door. You can experience Lambeau Field. You can see everything. Maybe take a tour of the Packer Hall of Fame while you're there. Tailgate. This is your opportunity. And the snow's not going to be blowing. It's not going to be 5 degrees out when you do it, Charlie.
No, and I think this is a cool opportunity for just fans of the team too, not even just families or anybody, to see everybody on the roster. You're going to get a chance to see a lot of players at least practice on this family day. And if you want to get that firsthand insight before you see them play in the regular season, this is the place to go.
Chief Marketing Officer for the Bucks and Fifer Forum, Dustin Godsey, joins us coming up next as we talk about the Cream City jerseys returning. Finally, and a brand new court coming to the Fifer Forum for the Bucks too. We'll talk about all that and their presence out here at the Wisconsin State Fair. Dustin Godsey of the Bucks joins us next. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM, the 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook here at the Wisconsin State Fair, just outside of the Expo building. Welcome back. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's as we broadcast live from the Wisconsin State Fair out here, right outside of the Expo building, right by the Milk House, brought to you by Gruber Law. Come on out, say hi, right off that infield entrance by the grandstands. My favorite group ever tonight is taking the stage, Boys to Men. I'm not going to be able to go, but I've seen them twice here at the Wisconsin State Fair. Highly, highly recommend checking them out. Joining us now on the, let's see, what is it? The Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. I should have that memorized. He is Dustin Godsey, Chief Marketing Officer for the Bucks and Fifer Forum. Follow him on Twitter at DGods. I do warn you, though, he talks a lot about Iowa Hawkeyes. What's going on, Dustin? How are you?
Sparky, how are you? Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you as well. Do you ever sit back and think to yourself, man, I'm glad I don't live in Dallas and have to work for one of those teams?
You know, I love where I'm at and love what we're doing here. That's what I'll say about that.
I mean, I couldn't even imagine how you spin it. Like, first Luka and now Micah Parsons demanding a trade from the Cowboys. I couldn't even imagine. All right, Mr. Godsey, let's talk about some great news. I think it's the best news of the week by far. It's not even remotely close. The Cream City jerseys finally coming back for the Bucks to wear this year. Let's rewind. Talk about the idea of having the Cream City jerseys with the cream color, and then what it essentially ended up ending you guys being able to wear them.
Yeah, so when we went through the rebrand process back in 2015, we brought in the cream, really wanting to bring in the history of Milwaukee and Cream City and that nickname and really kind of do something that other NBA teams and other teams really in most sports at that point hadn't done and you know, kind of get to that more cream-colored uniform, which was really unique to us at the time. It was incredibly popular. We went through two different cream-colored City Edition uniforms, and then 2020 hit, and they had the digital ads on the court that the cream color of the uniform disrupted those ads, and we were told at the time we could never wear them again. And it was kind of a change in our plans and a disappointment for us because our hope at that time was those cream uniforms were really going to become kind of the anchor to our uniform set every year, where we would have our white, our green, our black Fear the Deer ones, and then a cream-based uniform to bring it together. And unfortunately at the time it was technology wouldn't allow it, and we had to move on and you know, pivot towards more the blue the last few years, which a lot of people loved and a lot of people have other opinions of. But now we're excited, and we have Cream City back. They fixed the glitch, and we're back to what we had planned from the beginning.
So when did that call come or that email come telling you that, hey, good news, you can go back to wearing those jerseys again?
It was actually, we've known this now for about a year and a half, I would say, where we've been able to start planning for this. They actually tested it last year. I think the Pistons may have had a cream or kind of a beige-colored uniform, so they were able to test it. But we've known now for a year and a half, 2 years, that we were going to be able to bring this back, and so it's been fun to be able to kind of keep that secret and work towards it for the last couple of years.
So is the long-term plan to keep this now in the set like you were talking about before, or is this a one-year thing?
This won't be a one-year thing. You can't really go down the road of what all the plans are, but we certainly see this as being a piece of what we want to do and being able to go back to keeping that cream uniform every year. We also unveiled the Cream City Court today, which we see that being part of the rotation for multiple years as well.
I want to get to that as well. Dustin Godsey joins us here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy. Steve Sparky, Fifer with you. Dustin Godsey talking about the return of the Cream City jerseys to the Milwaukee Bucks. Finally, it's been so long. We finally get them back. Now let's talk about the court. It's not technically a parquet floor, right? I mean, how would you describe the floor?
No, it's not a parquet. It goes back. It's got a nice natural finish to it, green around the outside with that, Milwaukee rainbow or the new updated version of the old Irish rainbow along the sideline. But then when you get into the actual court itself, inside the three-point line is actually maps of the city of Milwaukee, so it really starts to bring the city to life a little bit and show that, but gives it, sort of a dense kind of two-tone look within the three-point line area. We've got the coordinates, the exact coordinates of Fifer Forum on there again, all with this kind of idea of all roads kind of leading home and being a part of bringing people together in Milwaukee.
See, people don't realize how nerdy this really gets in designing a basketball court. But you all really take it to the next level from a nerd aspect of really thinking this all the way through. I'm thinking just some colors, make it look cool, and let's move on. And everything y'all do has a point or a purpose to it. Do people buy into it or oh yeah, that's very cool type deal? Do you get a lot of compliments when you explain why you do different things?
We really do. I think it works kind of both ways. I think we try to design things and make things that obviously look aesthetically cool and that people can just turn on and say, hey, that looks great. And then for the people who want to, dig a little bit deeper, and again, for us, so much of everything we've done the last 10 years has been about telling the story of Milwaukee, really putting that on the global platform. So if there's opportunities for us to really dig in, whether that's educating people on the nickname Cream City or, getting even a little bit more deeper for people to start to understand and take pride in Milwaukee and where we're from, that's important to us as well.
I grew up in Kenosha, not in Milwaukee. I had no clue that this thing was ever called the Cream City until that press conference when you all unveiled that we're doing this whole Cream City thing. I had no idea. Right there, that was my educational process, was from you all about the whole Cream City thing. And it was cool, and I was all about it. Do you remember, I'm sure you do you remember before you all unveiled what the uniform colors were going to be, that there was a thing going around that it was going to be like Miami Hurricane colors, the green and the orange, and they were saying it's the hunting colors and so forth? That would have been a cool concept too there, Mr. Godsey.
It would have been, and we played into it a little bit, and I think kind of, at that point in time took people's, kind of rumors and ran with them a little bit. But we definitely, as we went through the rebrand process, we had some concepts that incorporated the orange. In fact, as I've dug back and we've kind of found some things in the archives from even before I was here, there were concepts as far back, as when the purple came in the 90s.
Do you know why the purple came in the 90s? Have you and I talked about that?
We have talked about the Dunleavy of it all.
Wimbledon.
Yes.
He was a tennis player. He loved tennis, went to Wimbledon, came back, and told the senator he wanted to change the color to Wimbledon colors.
Yeah. So, but we found some kind of mock-ups of some other things from that time when they were looking at it that they were pretty interesting as well.
I would love to see those one day. That would be fun. Dustin Godsey, Chief Marketing Officer for the Bucks and Fifer Forum, joins us here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's out here at the Wisconsin State Fair, right outside of the Expo building and right by the Milk House as well. You guys went away from being a part of the Milk House, but you still have a presence out here at the Wisconsin State Fair.
We do. We changed up about 4 years ago and really came up with this concept of working with the State Fair around Milwaukee Bucks Kids Day. So next Tuesday from 10 to 4, we'll be out there all day out at Central Park, have a craft station, and create design your Bango blue ribbons. Bango and Pointer from the Herd will be out there. We'll have photo opportunities with the NBA Cup, Bucks Entertainment Network all day. It's really become an opportunity for us to really, work with families and have kids come out and just make it a whole day of activity.
You guys still have presence inside the Expo building?
We do. We have presence inside the Expo building as well. So if you want to come down throughout the fair and get your Bucks gear, that's where that'll be.
What about the Cream City jerseys? When do fans get their opportunity to purchase those? Because I'm sure that's what people are going to be asking.
Yes, Cream City jerseys will be on sale in November when we're able to start wearing those. So a little bit of a wait to get those, but if you go to bucks.com, you can sign up and get an alert as soon as they are ready to buy.
Oh, perfect. Are they going to be available in kid sizes as well?
They will be available in kid sizes, adult sizes, and an incredible line of, kind of not only Nike stuff, but other gear that's going to go along with that and really play into that Cream City theme this year.
Since you're also the Chief Marketing Officer of Fifer Forum, Dustin, I feel like I can go down another road with you as well. When you guys came in, well, not you guys, but the ownership group came in and decided to, build Fifer Forum and do all of that, the idea was to try and fill that thing as many days as you can possibly throughout the year. And that is the driver, for the Deer District and making those bars work outside of the Bucks at Marquette and stuff like that going on down there. From when you got into where you are now, how many dates are you filling up on a year-to-year basis at this point?
Yeah, we're doing outside of Bucks games, over 80 or 90 additional event days. So, we're driving traffic down there about half the year, and then, we're excited. We'll have the new Live Nation Frank Productions music venue opening up right next door, which is going to be another, probably 80 or 90 event days a year as you go through that. With the Trade Hotel, the Moxie coming up here in the next couple of years, and, the residential that's been down there, we're really starting to see kind of that vision of kind of a year-round live, work, play sort of mentality coming to life, which has been really exciting to see.
What about the Mecca Sports Bar and Grill? How's that been?
Mecca's been great. We continue to see people come through there. Obviously, as we get into the summer, we find other ways to program and develop things. We've got a concert series in Deer District that continuing to help bring people down into the area. And Mecca, you can't beat that 40-foot TV screen when there's a major sports event going on.
And all the TVs around it. Yeah, no question. He is Dustin Godsey, again, joining us here, Wisconsin Sports Daily, Chief Marketing Officer for the Bucks and the Fifer Forum. Dustin, did I miss anything? Did we cover everything? Do you need to promote anything else on the way out?
No, I think we covered it. I think we're excited, to get the Cream City announcement out there, get the State Fair next week, and then, within the next couple weeks we'll have a schedule and single game tickets on sale. So the season's really kind of starting to launch here with the calendar turning to August.
I will tell you a quick story on the way out. So we obviously were out, doing our afternoon shows and all of our shows out here at the State Fair for all those years. And I have a picture of Giannis after the Bucks drafted him, because back then the first-round picks would always come and do interviews and sign autographs at the Milk House and all that stuff from back in the day. And I got a picture of Giannis sitting with us, his rookie, after he just got drafted, hadn't even played a game or anything. And to look at him then to what he is now is just absolutely remarkable.
It is amazing, and we're so lucky just as a city and a franchise to be able to have a guy like that who, has been with us all this time, and we've been able to see that change from the sort of the promise and what could be at the beginning to what he's become now has been really incredible for all of us to be around.
Dustin Godsey, Chief Marketing Officer for the Bucks and Fifer Forum. Follow him on Twitter at DGods. Just tweet at him. Go Badgers, go. He'll like it. Dustin, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Sparky.
Take care. There he is, Dustin Godsey. He's a good dude, man. Love me some Dustin Godsey. He's always been good to us, good to the station, so appreciate his time for coming on. Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports Brewers Rider. We'll go inside the clubhouse with him, brought to you by Focus Baseball. If you're still looking for a baseball team and looking for some individual tryouts, because most teams are done with all their team tryouts, you can still get individual tryouts with Focus Baseball right now if they have some openings in different age groups, which I don't know, they might. All you have to do is go to focusbaseball.com, focusbaseball.com. A guy just showed me, Charlie, a tattoo you would want. My producer is a Bears fan. A Bears tattoo on his forearm.
All right.
Do you think he'll ever see that team win a championship again?
Yes.
You think so? He thinks he will. He thinks he'll see it.
Good.
That's good. He's got some optimism.
Yeah,
I got a Cubs fan over here to the left wearing a Cubs hat.
They all know
Who
it's
is
the
the champion?
Wisconsin State Fair, right?
This is much cooler than that garbage fair in Illinois, I promise you. That Illinois State Fair is crap. I mean, for those of you that grew up here and have lived here your whole life like I have, and you talk to people and you'll meet them. I've met so many people from around the country that come to this fair. I've met people from Minnesota that come to this fair because it's so much better than their fair. I've met people from Iowa that come to this fair because it's so much better than their fair. A ton of people come up here from Illinois because, again, their fair is not very good. This Wisconsin State Fair is among the best in the country. Like, it's not even – I don't think it's remotely close, Charlie.
I believe it. I have a good time every time I go. And you know me, I'm not a big crowd person. I'm not a big heat person, but I like watching the pigs race, man. That's all that matters.
There he is, Charlie Usen, Steve Sparky Fifer with you. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up here by Wendy's. If you missed Austin Herdania on yesterday, Potawatomi Sportsbook manager, they have come up with a concept this year for fantasy football leagues. You can have your fantasy football league draft at the Potawatomi Sportsbook this year. And they're going to provide the food. Everybody gets 3 beverages to go along with it. You can be up on the second level of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. They're going to have a podium, right? So you can go up and make your pick and the whole deal. You're going to get draft board with stickers, the whole deal. And there's a price on it for every player that wants to come do it. But again, they're just going to keep throwing food out at you. Each get 3 beverages. It's a great concept, a great idea. Check out that right now at Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. Potawatomi.com/sportsbook. And again, that thing is 6,500 square feet. It's got a 2,000 square foot center screen. 30 sporting events at one time they can show you at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I always say reserve your seats ahead of time because they're always super busy, and that way you're guaranteed yourself a spot. Now, nominal fee, but that goes towards your food and beverage costs for the night anyhow. Go to Potawatomi.com/sportsbook to take care of all of that. Coming up next, we're going to talk about ESPN and NFL Network getting into bed together and whether or not this is a good idea from a fan standpoint because, well, the story came out earlier this afternoon. It was met with a bunch of criticism and negativity from NFL fans about ESPN getting involved with the NFL Network and the Red Zone, by the way. We'll talk about that straight ahead. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook here at the Wisconsin State Fair, outside of the Expo building on The Fan.